foundation of fire. Everywhere you look, people are setting goals. New Year's resolutions, vision boards, lists of dreams taped to the wall. But look closer, most of those goals will fade before the year ends. Not because people are lazy, but because they never built a foundation beneath the dream. They wanted the result, but not the reason. They had the goal, but not the why. And that's where everything changes. Because a goal without purpose is like a car without fuel. It looks good sitting in the driveway, but it's not taking you anywhere. See, purpose is what separates those who start from those who finish. It's what keeps you going when motivation dies. It's the fire that burns when comfort fades, and the strength that stands when the storm hits. Every dream you chase, every plan you build, every habit you form, they all live or die by one thing: your purpose. So tonight, we're not just talking about goals. We're going deeper. We're going to the foundation, to the reason behind the reason, the fuel behind the fire, the why behind every what. Because when your purpose is strong enough, you don't need to be pushed, you pull yourself. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You create it. And you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. So before we talk about success, before we talk about dreams, before we talk about how high you can climb, let's talk about the one thing that makes it all possible. Purpose, the power behind every goal. The fire behind every goal. Most people build their goals the way kids build sandcastles. Quickly, carelessly, beautifully, but without a foundation. And when the first wave of inconvenience hits, the castle collapses. Not because they didn't want it, but because they didn't anchor it. See, a goal without purpose is fragile. You can write it on your mirror, save it as your phone wallpaper, even shout it to the world. But if it's not tied to something deep, something that matters, it will fade. A weak purpose will always produce weak goals. Purpose is not some mystical thing only poets talk about. It's simple, it's your why. Why are you doing it? Why will you keep pushing when it gets hard? Why will you sacrifice when others quit? If you can't answer that why, you'll never survive the how. I learned early, money alone doesn't move the soul. A bigger house? A new car? Sure, they look nice, but they won't wake you up with fire in your chest. They won't hold you steady when storms hit. Only purpose does that. People think they want goals because they want achievement. But achievement without meaning is empty. The goal to lose 10 pounds, get a promotion, or save $1,000. Those are fine but shallow if they aren't connected to something greater. Lose the weight, why? To live longer, to feel stronger, to show your kids discipline. That's purpose. Get the promotion, why? To grow, to lead, to serve others, to reach your full potential? That's purpose. And when purpose enters, power arrives. Suddenly, the goal isn't just a task. It's a mission. And missions endure where tasks fail. I once asked a man to list his goals. He read them off. Neat, organized, impressive. Then I asked, why these? He blinked. He didn't know. That's the gap. A goal without a why is a sail without wind. It looks beautiful, but it goes nowhere. Purpose not only strengthens goals, it simplifies them. When you know your why, half the noise disappears. You stop chasing every distraction because it doesn't fit your mission. And when you gain clarity, clarity becomes power. So if you want stronger goals, stop polishing the surface. Start digging the foundation. Find the reason that moves you, that stirs your imagination, that makes the struggle worthwhile. Because goals without purpose are chores. Goals with purpose become destiny. Two people can work side by side. Same job, same hours, same pay. One drags through the day, counting minutes. The other shows up early, stays late, and still finds energy to learn. What's the difference? Not talent, not opportunity. It's purpose. One sees a burden. The other sees a bridge. Same environment, different fuel. Purpose gives power. Without it, the smallest obstacle feels like a mountain. With it, even the heaviest load feels lighter. I've seen people in factories, same machines, same sweat, but different fire in their eyes. One is working for wages. The other is working for a dream. The hands do the same job, but one heart is burning hotter. If goals are the vehicle, purpose is the engine. You can polish the car all day, but without an engine, it goes nowhere. That's the danger of pretty goals with no purpose. They look great on paper, but when life tests them, they don't move. Purpose changes everything. Without it, discipline feels like punishment. With it, discipline becomes privilege. Without it, saving money feels like deprivation. With it, it feels like freedom in the making. Without it, practice feels like a chore. With it, practice feels like preparation. Same action, different meaning, because of purpose. Don't set a goal just to make $1 million. Ask why you want that million. If it's only to spend it, you'll lose interest. But if it represents freedom, security, the ability to bless others, then the goal has weight. It has endurance. Purpose guards you against quitting too soon. Everyone hits walls. Everyone faces drought. But if your reason matters, you keep walking. That's the power of purpose. It's stronger than fatigue. Purpose inspires others too. When you live with purpose, you don't need to preach. People can see it. They see the consistency, the spark, the drive. They may not know your reason, but they feel its presence. Purpose not only powers your life, it lights the path for others. Don't envy people with bigger goals. Envy those with deeper purpose, because depth outlasts height. A tall building with no foundation collapses. A small house on a strong base stands for generations. Goals give direction. Purpose gives stamina. Direction without stamina is a sprint that ends too soon. Stamina without direction is wasted energy. But when they come together, now you're unstoppable. People think success starts with bigger goals. But that's backward. A big goal without purpose is just a big disappointment waiting to happen. Picture this. Two men decide to run a marathon. Both start strong. One quits when the weather turns cold, because his goal was built on novelty, not necessity. The other keeps running through pain and exhaustion, because his purpose was bigger than comfort. Maybe he's running for charity. Maybe he's proving to himself he can overcome. Whatever it is, that's purpose. Purpose gives staying power. Purpose is the seed before the tree, the foundation before the wall. Get those out of order and frustration follows. Without purpose, every inconvenience feels like an obstacle. With purpose, obstacles become details. If the goal is shallow, the struggle feels pointless. But when your goal is anchored in a strong why, even pain becomes proof of progress. That's why motivation isn't the answer, purpose is. Motivation rises and falls with moods. Purpose doesn't. When your why is strong, you don't need to pump yourself up. The why wakes you up. Purpose turns sacrifice into logic. Without it, sacrifice feels unfair. With it, sacrifice feels necessary. Why does the athlete train before dawn? Why does the musician practice until fingers ache? Why does the entrepreneur push through failure after failure? Because purpose explains the pain. Without purpose, pain breaks you. With purpose, pain builds you. And purpose sharpens focus. The moment you decide your why, distractions lose their power. You stop wasting hours, not because you're strict, but because your mission is too important to waste time. Purpose is the great filter. Tells you what belongs and what doesn't. That's why chasing motivation without purpose doesn't work. It's like trying to light a fire without fuel. You can spark all you want, but without wood, the fire dies. Purpose is the wood. Goals are the flame. Most people think big goals will keep them going. But it's not the size of your goal that keeps you alive. It's the size of your purpose. Imagine two trees. One grows fast, thin, shallow roots. The other grows slow, deep roots. When the storm comes, one falls. The other bends and holds. Goals are the branches. Purpose is the root system. Without roots, there's no endurance. Purpose is the anchor of achievement. Without it, you drift with the tide. Every trend, every opinion, every setback pushes you somewhere new. But with purpose as your anchor, you hold steady no matter the storm. So how do you find it? Start with what you value. Not what looks good. Not what others expect. What matters deeply to you. Because borrowed purpose doesn't last. You can't chase someone else's dream forever. Purpose must be personal. Your goal might be financial freedom, but for one person that means peace of mind. For another, creating opportunities. For another, giving generously. Same goal, different fuel. Once you find your purpose, align your habits with it. If your purpose is health, then every glass of water, every workout matters. If your purpose is influence, then every book you read is preparation. Habits tied to purpose become sacred. Habits without purpose are fragile. So ask yourself, why do I want this goal? Why does it matter enough to endure the hard days? If your answer is shallow, your pursuit will be too. But if your answer is deep, you'll discover strength you didn't know you had. Purpose doesn't remove struggle. It redefines it. Obstacles stop being reasons to quit. They become tests to prove your why. Excuses crumble in the face of real purpose. If your reason is weak, excuses will find you. If your reason is strong, you'll find a way. So don't chase easier goals, chase stronger reasons. When your why is strong enough, you can survive anyhow. Purpose changes effort into endurance, pain into progress, discipline into devotion. Without purpose, life drifts. With purpose, life drives forward. So here's the question. Are you drifting or are you deciding? Because drift requires nothing but neglect. Decision requires courage and clarity. Drift fades. Purpose builds. You can let your life be shaped by distractions, or you can choose a purpose that shapes you. Don't wait for perfect timing. Purpose doesn't need permission. It needs decision. Once you decide, everything changes. Drift or decide. Weak why or strong why. Temporary goals or lasting destiny. The difference isn't talent. It isn't luck. It's purpose. Purpose gives power to goals. And goals guided by purpose give power to life. So choose your why. Choose it boldly. Choose it today.